Welcome back to another video tutorial here at Geekatplay Studios. My name is Gary Miller. I found myself modeling this French cottage house the other day, and I wanted to create Mediterranean style a Mediterranean style roof with those half circle shaped tiles that run along the top of the roof. And while it was easy to create the house and it was easy to create the tiles, getting them precisely aligned with the pitch of the roof and duplicated along the roof, at least in Modo, it took a little figuring out until I finally got it. So today's tutorial is going to cover a couple tools on accurately and 100% precisely modeling various components for a Mediterranean style roof. I'm going to drag this portion of my screen here off of the visible area. It gives me a little bit more real estate. So I'm going to just start off by creating a very simple house and roof line. Okay, there's our very basic house. Let me organize some things up here. Don't need any of those. And create a new mesh. Let's come to a right side view, and I'm going to create our little tile. I'm going to create it 16 sides by 1 segment. Select the front and back face, delete them, and I guess in wireframe mode select those vertices and delete those. Shaded view. And let's move this over into place. It definitely needs to be elongated and shrunk down a little bit. Okay, let me see, is that that looks a little bit large. I'm not going precision here for the size or anything. This is just to demonstrate the tools that would be required if you wanted to create something similar to this, or if you wanted to use the tools in a precision manner like what I'm going to demonstrate. Okay, let's come into edge mode. I'm going to select the back of these tiles here. Hit my R key to bring up the scale tool, and I'm going to scale the back of this down. Let's come to a, let me see, right side view? No, front view. Now because I scaled it down, it's no longer perfectly horizontal. So come to an auto action center, hit my E key, and let me hit my W key actually. I'm going to bring this corner right down to this reference grid line. E key, and now I'm just going to place it right there on my grid. So now it's flat all the way across. It's horizontal. Okay, back into a perspective view. What I need to do, I need to line this up on my roof, and then I need to angle it so it matches the pitch of my roof. So it has to be going up this direction. So first thing I need to do is snap it into place. So I'm going to come over here, snaps and precision, drag snap rigid, and as soon as I get right here to this corner, notice the little blue square. That little vertex is highlighting. So all I'm going to do, actually I want to do this one, just drag it right over here to the corner of the house, and it snaps right into place. It snaps on the edges and the verts. There we are. Spacebar to drop the tool. Now what I've got to figure out is how am I going to uh, angle this to perfectly match the pitch of the roof. Now I want to, before I continue this, there was a tutorial over at Luxology on Luxology TV that demonstrates this exact same process. The only difference is um, it is a tutorial to show the tools, and it wasn't exactly clear to me first several times I watched it. So I thought I would create this tutorial to more thoroughly demonstrate and explain the tools that are required for this. So I'm not trying to create something that hasn't already been created or steal the limelight of Brad Peebler, who did the tutorial over at Luxology. I just want to better demonstrate and explain how the tool works. Okay, so now we've got to rotate this. The tool we're going to use is the Planar Rotate Snap Axis tool, which is right here under Snaps and Precision. So I'll click on that. I need to set the tool in place, and so as soon as I get to this corner here, on this active layer of this roof tile, as soon as I get right here to the corner, you see that little, the vert highlights in blue. I'm going to click there, and that puts the tool in place. What I need to do now is to align the tool or orient the tool um, into the direction in which I want it to operate. So I'm going to grab this handle right here, and if I move it around, let me undo that. Let me grab this one. Okay, my recording software is creating a few conflicts. What I need to do is to orient this tool so that so that it will rotate my roofing tile in the direction that I want. So I'm going to grab this back handle here, and notice that as it snaps to edges, notice the direction here in which it is orienting itself. If I snap it over here, now if I were to rotate the roofing tile, it would rotate in this manner, and well, that's not what I want. I want it to rotate up and down this direction. So I need to grab this handle and rotate it this direction, and it'll snap along the line of my background object, this roofing line of my house. Okay, now I have defined I guess the horizontal base for which this will rotate. Now I need to define a maximum angle that this will snap to. So what I want to do is tell Modo I want it to snap to this angle. I've already defined this angle. I need to define this one here. So I'll take this handle and I'll snap it to this angle on the roof line. Now Modo knows that in between this area, right in between here, it will freely move. But when it gets to these lines and these lines, it will snap. Now outside of this area here, which is all the way around here, it's just going to freely spin and rotate. Only when it gets to here and here will it snap into place. Okay, the last thing I need to do is this little guy right here. I need to align him to the edge of my roofing tile. I've defined the angles with these two handles here. I've defined the angle in which this tool will snap. Now I need to snap this to the inside edge of my roofing tile. And I need to do it right there. So now you see where this is. So This little guy, this little pink circle, is the handle in which I can start rotating this. So grab this and it snaps right up there onto my roof line. Now, if you look at it, it doesn't look like it is snapped into place. It looks like it's still off. And here it's just freely rotating around. Let me zoom out a little bit more. Snaps right onto that roof, and it snaps right down there. Okay, but it doesn't look like it. Well, that's because we reduced the diameter of the back. So if I change views, you can see that this is my roof line. This is my roof line, and if I zoom in, it is perfectly snapped right on there. It's right where it needs to be. So we've got this exactly where it's supposed to be. The only thing we have to do now is to copy and distribute these along the angle or the pitch of the roof. Well, in order to do that, we need to define what angle this tool is, the copy tool is going to need to distribute these. So we're going to come back to our house here. Come into polygon mode. I'm going to select the roof of the house. This is the angle that the tool needs to operate on. So I'm going to come up here to work plane and align my work plane to the angle of the roof. If I hit O and show work plane, now you can see that the action of the copy tool is going to follow the angle of my work plane. So with my roofing tile selected, I'm going to come over here to the duplicate tab, clone, and let's start off with 6, and I'm just going to click in the viewport, and I'm going to push it up, and I've pushed it up too far. Click again. Let me come to a wireframe view so I can see how much these are overlapping, and I probably have too many, so let's drop it down to 5 and push it up again. Now the nice thing about this tool is you can continue clicking and place your axis widget wherever it is that you want, so that you can get a good understanding of how you are positioning these. Okay, that looks good right like that. Spacebar, and I'll drop that tool and come back into shaded view. I'll just select these, hit my open bracket, my close bracket, and basic tab, thicken tool, click in the viewport, and I'll add a little thickness to these. Okay, now I've got my roofing tiles arranged in a angular fashion. What I need to do is distribute them this direction now, and that's very simple. I can do it with my work plane currently set to the angle of the pitch, but I don't need that, so I'm just going to reset it and come over here, duplicate, use my clone tool, and I'll just set a low number of, say, 2. Click in the viewport, zoom in so I know how close these are to one another, and they are aligned right next to each other. So I'll just use my mouse wheel and just increase the number of these, and it looks as though I'm hanging off the end there, so there does need to be some hang off. So I will center this, center selected along the Z, and now it is just a little bit of hang off here, a little bit there. I do want a little bit more, so automatic action center, and I'll just scale this out a little bit more. Okay, I like that. Okay, and if you want some for the other side, come here to duplicate tab, mirror along the X, apply. And that is how to make these roofing tiles for a Mediterranean European style roof. So I hope I have been able to thoroughly explain and demonstrate the tools that are needed um, for this type of modeling process. And that's it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching here at Geekatplay Studios. My name's Gary Miller. Have a good day.